we often have people come in and they're really concerned about protecting their pension. Somebody's worked as a police officer, a fireman, a teacher. They've put in 20, sometimes even more years of their life into that job, and they've really been counting on that pension plan, those pension payments down the road. And they often want to protect that, and they don't want to share that with their spouse. Understandable. Their spouse has a right to what we call the marital portion of that retirement plan. We can trade off. It's not uncommon that one person may say, I really want to keep that pension plan, and there's enough money on the other side to compensate the other person, so they're still getting their share of that. That does still happen. When I started practicing law, we very frequently trade off pensions for houses if the numbers worked out. More and more financial advisors, and that's something that we do recommend our clients speak with, but financial advisors are telling people, particularly the spouse who doesn't have the pension, that's not always the best idea. If you get the money up front, you're at risk of spending it, and a pension guaranteed for life can be very valuable even beyond the actual valuation of that. So it's case by case. It's something that we'll discuss with you as the case progresses, and depending on your financial situation, it may or may not make sense to consider such a trade-off if that's possible. There are some assets that can't be split. There are times that with stock options, with RSUs, where there's restrictions, they can't be shared with the other side. There's a lot of investments, people who have certain private equity investments in particular, we see this coming up, where you can't change ownership. When that happens, there are different ways that we can make sure that the assets are fairly divided. Sometimes we can get a valuation of those assets and trade off against other things. There are times where we'll do agreements that are basically, if we call it if, as, and when. So if we have an investment that currently doesn't have real value, but there's a chance that it'll pop down the road, we will do an agreement that if that happens, when it happens, it'll get divided.